What's up? How's it going? In this video I'll bring to life a KMZ K-750 that has been sitting for 22 years. But first of all, we somehow gotta get to the bike itself, so we clear everything on the way, and here it is. First, a little background. In short, initially it was an M72, but at some point the previous owner got tired of the plunger type suspension frame and he changed it to a regular K750 frame. Then the whole thing ran with the M72 engine, and when the M72 engine died, he installed an engine from a K750, and then all that was successfully exploited. Then he changed the original rocker type front end and put a regular K750 fork, and as a result of all of that, we got a K750. And in this configuration, with K750 frame, engine and front end, all this had been driven. Then he put the motorcycle in a garage where, according to his words, it sat for at least 20 years. Then I bought this bike and it has been sitting for 2 more years in my place. Actually, I went there to buy some parts from the previous owner, but when I got to his place, he simply named the price for the entire pile of parts with the bike. I was trying to explain that I need only a few parts of his stash, but he was like, either everything or none. And I thought to myself, I like this guy. So I was like, you have a deal, sir. When I bought this motorcycle, I had no plans to start it and make it run and drive. I bought it purely for collection purposes, just so it pleases the eye. But now I have a desire to put all the motorcycles I have in working order, and at the moment it's 13 of them. Only 6 of them run and drive. I mean, only in 6 bikes you can throw a battery, put some gas in, kick them, and it'll start and go. Another 4 of these bikes, like this K750, haven't been started for a very long time and require a little fiddling to get them into working order. And 3 more are disassembled, which I also want to assemble back together and put them on the road so that all 13 motorcycles would run and drive. According to the previous owner, the motorcycle ran when parked, but when I came to buy it, it didn't have a spark plug in the left cylinder, and you could see that a bunch of dust had accumulated in there. So I'll have to take the left head off, clean everything out of the cylinder, lubricate it, and put everything back together. There was a spark plug in the right cylinder, but I still want to look inside and see if the motorcycle was sitting for some time without a spark plug in the right cylinder as well. I don't really want to take the head off, to be honest. It doesn't look like there's dust and dirt in the cylinder, but a lot of carbon deposits are visible. I won't remove this head just yet. If there's a lot of carbon behind the left head, then we'll take off this one too and clean everything behind it. I tested the spark plug, seemed to work great, so I'm putting it back. You know, why not? I can see some cobwebs and dust in there. Okay, in any case, I'll clean everything real good, lubricate it, and put the head back on. I discovered a nice bonus. The cylinder has no wear at all. It's pretty much brand new. Wow. The cylinder isn't worn out, but the carbon is all oily and soft, and the rings are probably deceased. Or valve guides. That's alright, it'll run. I had them run and drive in way worse conditions. Let me remind you that my videos are not about how to do it. My videos are about how I play with my junk. For example, in the normal world, you need to install a new gasket between the cylinder head and the cylinder. But in my bumpkin world, I install the old one and everything will work perfectly fine. We cleaned the cylinder and lubricated it. We'll put the spark plug in and move on to the carburetors. Let's check the oil and... Man, no way, we're a bit higher than the lower level. Fancy. Let's put some oil in this cylinder too, for the company. I found an old 6-volt battery laying around, no idea how many years it has been sitting, and it was laying on its side. So I'll try to start it the old-fashioned way, with a rectifier. I'll try not to dig under the ignition cover, but try to connect the rectifier directly to the coil and see if we have spark. But there was no spark, even after several hours of digging into the ignition and replacing the coil. And the reason for the absence of spark has always turned out to be one little thing, after correcting which the spark did appear. Then I hooked up my mini fuel tank, which is a master cylinder brake fluid reservoir, and it costs pennies. Poured some gas in and started kicking, but the bike kicked me back, after which I retarded the timing. And... Yesterday we left the garage when the bike started, but while the engine was running I heard some obvious knocking noise. So now I'll adjust the valves, start the engine, and if that doesn't help, then it's either the crankshaft ringing or something behind the right head. We'll have to take off the right head as well. So I adjusted the valves, but decided to take off the head and see what's going on behind it. Yeah, there's nothing in here, so it's either the valves clattered or the crankshaft. We lube it up real good and put the head back on. So I already bolted the head back on. I'm putting some gas, we'll start it and listen whether the knocking went away or not after adjusting the valves. We kick a couple of times so it sucks in some gas. Connect the ignition and it should start. Yeah, I forgot to retard the ignition. Unfortunately, the knocking sound did not go away. This clatter is clearly coming from inside the engine, so is the crankshaft knocking. Maybe wrist pins, but I doubt it. A strong knock like this is for sure the Conrad roller bearings. I wanna go for a ride now. But my crappy battery doesn't work. Long story short, after charging the battery, it turned out to still be alive and even works a little. Let's try to start it with the battery. It works! From the battery. Looks like I will be able to go for a ride today. Next, I tied up the mini tank with a wire. For centuries. And a battery with a rope. Even more than for centuries. Put some air in the tires and it was time to sort of go for a ride. Shoot. It's got no brakes at all. Then I went out to check the street and it turned out to be completely covered with ice. In general, this thing has started up and even drove. The street is completely black iced and I don't really want to drive on ice without brakes with a K750 that has dead shocks, dead front end and loose wheel bearings, so I think that's enough for today. When it gets warmer and ice melts, we'll definitely go for a ride and I think it'll be in one of the next videos. Well, that's it for today. See you next video.